All right. Sound testing. Looks like we're good. Am I good? Hmm. Am I good? Am I good? Hmm. Yeah, I think I'm pretty fine. Actually, if you were with us in our last stream, you may have heard that I'm actually doing pretty well these days, for a variety of reasons that I will disclose over the course of this new year, 2025. So, but yeah, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Wow, I have a lot of things. Okay, what is going on? I have a lot of windows opening up right now. Okay, so, okay, one step at a time. Let's do the needful. So, hello and good morning, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Parametric Camp. This is Jose Luis here. If you're new to the channel, we do computational design live streams, mostly every Friday. We haven't done it a lot last year because I was going through some stuff, but I am much better now and I want to get back into the game. And I want to spend more time with the beautiful community of parametric campers, like, for example, Nicolas, who I see in the chat right now, and it's a big fan of the. Hi, Nicolas. And Marco, whom I don't know that I've met before, but welcome to the channel. So, before we get into the nitty gritties, so this is a channel, we do live streams on computational design. I basically spend some time here live with the help of the community. We try things out, we record tutorials, we discuss algorithms, 3D modeling, creativity, all those things. And then we chop them, we cut them, we edit them, and we publish them as slightly more polished versions of this. But mostly everything is like pretty real time in a way. If you want to know more about what we do, we have social media. We are particularly active on Instagram. And we also have a Discord server. The link is in the description of this video. You can join the Discord server to have conversations throughout the week, to post questions, we have a bonfire where we just hang out and chat about things that are happening in the world. Oh, I've had a lot of caffeine today. That's not a good thing. I'm very sensitive to caffeine. And if you want to know when do we go live, we typically announce it on Discord. We have a channel called Live when I announce what we're going to do and when are we going to do it. But I also, did I do this time? We also have a Google Calendar. Yes, I did. I posted it. We also have a Google Calendar. The link is in the description of this video. You can also subscribe to the Google Calendar and then you will get an event whenever we go live. Okay? Beautiful. Hi, Alejo. So, all right. So, what are we doing today? Now, if you remember, last time we met, I was saying that it had been a while, that I didn't live stream a lot last year, and that I wanted to get slowly back in the game. The way I typically do these live streams is that I typically have some idea of things, either things that I want to tinker and explore and just do like a video or two about. Sometimes I have a larger idea of a kind of more comprehensive curriculum around a topic. So if you know the channel, you know that we have a lot of playlists where we record sequential videos going over a topic. We have a playlist on parametric modeling. We have a playlist on learning C#, learning how to code with C#. We have a playlist on advanced topics in Grasshopper development. We have a playlist on WebSockets. We have a playlist on having fun with AI, all those things. So sometimes I record videos that are more towards a curriculum. And actually, I've gotten a lot of feedback from people that these playlists help them a lot get better at learning certain things. They also really help me as support material for the teachings that I do at the university. So, so that's great. But for those, I kind of need a bit more of high level organizational goals, and because they're a big investment, it typically takes us months to complete one of these playlists. All right, can you see me? Uh, uh, uh. I don't know what's going on. Oh, I see myself again. I don't know what's happening. Yes, I seem to be back now. Okay. All right, we like that. Okay, so let me. Yes, so my computer disconnected from the internet somehow. I don't know why. All right, well, I was in the middle of a rant about how since I come from a long time of not streaming, I want to take things easy to really get the ball rolling back. So I don't want to engage in some kind of like big, massive playlist project right away, unless I know that I am committed to doing it. Because it's like feels like starting a big project, kind of thing. You know when they say, "Oh, you haven't run for a long time, so don't get back to running by doing a marathon. Just take it easy and build up your mileage. I've been running a lot lately, by the way, just letting you know. So yeah. Arastu, hello, welcome, welcome. Arastu, reminder, Arastu is teaching a workshop at the next Cadria conference in March in Tokyo. I really wish I could come, but I have something really big happening in March. So I really can't go anywhere uh, until the summer, basically. Anyway, so what are we doing today? Today we're going to. So last time we met, we spent some time pitching programs and research labs around the world who make where you can go and learn more about computational design. So we spent some time. Um, can you please let me know? Because I'm seeing my stream right now. It's very blurry. So I don't know if the image quality on your side is also super blurry because of the buffering problem I've had, or if it's crisp and nice. Can you tell me what is the image quality that you're seeing in the video, please? Can you let me know in the chat? So what I was saying. Yeah, last time we met, we recorded we basically spent time putting together a list of places where you could go to study more computational design or do PhDs or research labs where you could go and collaborate. So I want to make a very small video about that, and the video is going to be called, "Hey, want to learn more? Where can you go do this?" No blurry seems clear. Thank you, thank you. And so we're going to make a small video about that. But most of today, what I would like to do is have you been hearing the news? Have you heard all this fuss about DeepSeek and this new large language model that has been published by a Chinese startup and that has caused a crash in the price of Nvidia stock here in the US stock market, whatever. Anyway, so there has been the news, at least the ones that I listened to, have been dominated this week by the open source publishing of these new models, DeepSeek V3, which is basically a chatbot, and Deep3 R1, which is a reasoning model, both of which are open source. And I wanted to basically spend some time today trying to see if I can just download it and run it in my computer and talk to these models, okay? So basically what we're gonna do today is an exercise of deploying one of these models. I wanna try DeepSeek in whichever version I can. I have actually, and the reason why I also wanna do this is because I've actually been meaning to do this for a very long time with Llama models. Llama are the large language models that Meta publishes, and they were basically the first big good LLM that was published with open weights so that people could download and use them right away. So I have done some research, and it turns out that there's this one framework that you can use to download, deploy, and use inference on a collection of open weight models like Llama, DeepSeek, Mistral, whatever. This framework is called Ollama, not to be confused with llama, different things, all right? But I want to give it a try. I want to see if I can download, install them, and run them. And if I do, we're going to make a video out of that, okay? So it's going to be basically, today's going to be a tinkering session of trying to run LLMs locally in my machine, okay? And for those of you who may not be familiar with what I'm talking about, if you are a ChatGPT user, you may have used ChatGPT through some kind of app, right? Either on your phone or either on some web app where there's a chat box, you type text, and then you get responses back. The way that works is that what you're given, the app, is simply an interface. It's not really the model running on your computer or running on your phone. What the interface does is it gives you basically an UI-based way to talk to what's called an API, an application programming interface, which lives somewhere in the cloud and behind which the LLM is running in some kind of server. So APIs are basically a way to give people access to talking to a large language model that is running on some machine on the cloud, all right? So when you use ChatGPT on your browser or when you use it on your phone, the actual model and the prediction doesn't happen on your phone or on the browser. It happens somewhere on the server, and then you talk back and forth, okay? Now, that is one way to work with LLMs. Another way is, well, let's assume that, and this typically costs money when you talk to ChatGPT or when you either have a membership or if you use their API to develop an app, you have to pay every time you talk to OpenAI. So a workaround to saving some money, which is, this is kind of theoretical because you will need a very powerful computer to run but a workaround to not having to, oh, well, okay. So let me say this in a different way, because you have to pay. Let me say this model of consuming large language models from the cloud has two main problems or two main criticisms that people want to avoid. One of them is the money price, because every time you request a prediction, you have to pay. If you're doing this a lot and systematically, then the bill may actually build up. Another concern that people have is that anything that you submit to these servers, any questions you ask to get a prediction for, they actually end up in their databases and they form part of they typically use this for their new data sets and their new training rounds. And there's people who believe or who have issues with the sensitivity and the privacy of the questions that they submit to these large language models. So a workaround to making this a little cheaper and to keeping their data private is to run these LLM predictions locally on a machine. Or in other words, you download one of these large language models, you run it in your computer, and then you pay the electricity bill, you pay for that computer, but then using this large language model for inference is basically cheap, aside from the energy cost of running the computer, right? And also because the model is in your computer and there's no data exchange that is happening on the internet, you could do this without an internet connection, right? Then your data is guaranteed to stay private in your machine, right? So this is why a lot of people are interested in deploying large language models locally. So we're going to try to do that today, which I believe is basically going to be a trial and error exercise of downloading Llama, downloading weights for different models, and exploring what options do we get for talking to this model. Okay, I've seen a couple of tutorial videos, and there's like a command line interface you can use to talk to them. There is like an API that these models get wrapped around automatically. So we're going to explore all of that. Okay, and I see that the chat. All right. Hi, Pranav. Running LLMs in WSL Ubuntu is super interesting if you may want to give it a try. So Arastu, interestingly, I'm actually not interested that much anymore in WSL, so the Windows subsystem for Linux, which is basically a way to emulate natively Linux systems in your machine. I actually recently purchased another desktop computer more powerful than the one that I am in, And that one is it is already Ubuntu native. So running these things natively in Ubuntu without simulation or virtualization, I actually think is much more interesting. And I do not discard at some point turning this machine that I am on right now into a pure Linux machine and then streaming from a Linux machine, running inference locally, etc., etc. Hey, Mesrat, I see you've been having some fun with pixel-based Grasshopper, huh? Hey, Lamagash, ¿qué onza? Aloe for your wellness. Okay, yeah, parametric for your wellness. All right, let's go. Congrats switching to Linux. Are you a Linux person, Nicolas? Is that how you live your life? Because honestly, why am I not on Linux? I think I could like pretty much live without, except for Rhino, for which I could emulate Windows in a virtual machine, really. And oh, Genesis, that was the physics-based simulation system that you shared with us at some point, right? Mhm. Yeah. Okay. I'm getting more into Linux. I like Inkscape Windows for music production. Music production, really? I guess you're an Ableton person. Is that what you're saying? Rhino. Anything that is work related, you can definitely get away. It's Rhino and Grasshopper that you need some kind of Windows emulation. And oh, I know. I bought also a new laptop recently, top of the game, best specs, whatever, and it's just so slow because of all the stupid Windows bloatware and all the defenders and all the encryption. It's just the worst. Yeah. Anyway, don't get me started on all of this. But yes, so, and actually Blender, you can run Blender natively in Linux, and Blender's gotten so much better in the last few years. It's incredible. So if it wasn't for me, if it wasn't for for Rhino and Grasshopper, really, I could literally like live. I could literally live a perfect Linux life. Yeah. I'm a civil engineer. Would like to shift my career to computational design, but I'm not good at coding. Where can I learn coding and computational design? Well, you're in the right place. First, join our Discord server, then go to the bonfire channel and then ask those questions. My recommendation is first, just go through our entire parametric modeling playlist. And then if you really like what you saw, then learn how to code with our Learning C# playlist. That's what I would recommend to you. Hello, Professor. I'm following your course. I find it very useful to study. Hope you meet in person to discuss with you. That would be lovely. I really, really like human-human interaction in person, where possible. Music product should be Apple. I think now for production it's mostly Ableton. I'm hosting my website on a Raspberry Pi. You're such a nerd. That's too. I love it. Blender is GOAT. I don't know about GOAT or ship, but I know that it's great for sure. Beautiful. Okay, let's get started, right? So much talking. I'm just chatty. I drank a lot of coffee today. You are going to suffer the consequences of that. I'm sorry. So, all right, Ollama. Ollama, what is Ollama? So Ollama is a framework that I've heard is really good for deploying locally models like you see, Llama, DeepSeek, Mistral is a French one, Gemma, I don't know, 5.4, I don't know. So let's just do it. So I'm going to download this for Windows. And all right. So we're going to download it, and it's downloading, and it's, wow. It's yeah, it's a 700 megabytes. It's 700 megabytes. Download 750. Yeah, this might be a slow. This might be a slow stream because I feel I'm gonna have to be downloading a lot of fat things, especially when we start downloading models and the weights are in the gigabytes order of things. You know, it's gonna be bad. Yeah. Lamarache is recommending that you follow parametric architecture and then C# and then the advanced. That's what I did, and it really helped me a lot. Thank you. Now, question for the audience. DeepSeek, yeah, but I probably cannot run the 404 gigabyte one because the look, I have a RTX 3090. This desktop that I'm using right now is, what is it? It's 4 years old or 3 years old. I forget. I know that I bought it in September of some year. And it was when, I don't know if you remember this period when it was basically impossible to get an RTX. And I got on this wait list and I miraculously got one. But they were top of the notch at the time. And now they're not. But it still has, what is the specs? The specs of an RTX 90, it's 24 gigabytes of memory, so that's great for LLMs, I hear. All right, so we downloaded it. Beautiful. So this is Ollama. I'm going to run it and all right, so what are we doing? Click install installation. All right, yeah, blah, 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 whatever. Let's see. I'm still on the 2070. Thoughts about the 5070? I don't know. But I was saying, Lamarache, or those of you who've gone through the 3 playlists, Into the Parametric Modeling, Learning C#, Advanced Development in Grasshopper, what would be a good continuation playlist? So where do we go from there? You know how to do parametric modeling, you know how to code, you know how to write your own plugins and do advanced things in Grasshopper. What would be an interesting segue? What would be like a 4th playlist for people to continue their journey? What do you think? So some kind of knowledge that assumes familiarity with coding and 3D modeling, whatever, but taps into more advanced topics. Can you give me some recommendations? Rhino Insight or Rhino Compute? That's a good one. I would like to transition away from the Rhino ecosystem. I don't know if that means doing more Blender. I don't know if it means doing more web-based, 3JS, WebGL, whatever. Web-based stuff, I see it. I would love going lower into C, or maybe going full into Rhino development. I wouldn't do C, I would do C++. Because a lot of the really cool and powerful geometry libraries and kernels are typically written in C++. Simulation and growth fractals, bgraphy. Oh, we're doing bgraphy at some point. That is happening. Okay, so is that it? Oh, okay, so I don't know, you can't see it, I have it on my other screen, but on my taskbar, I have a tiny llama now. And if I click on it, okay, can I show, wait. Let me see if I can show my icons here. Bottom. Okay, I'm just gonna make this my main. I'm just gonna make this my main screen. Is that true? Make this my main. Yes, okay. Oh, geez. No, that's a lot. No, I'm going back. No. Sorry. Oh boy. Yeah. Well, anyway, I have a tiny llama on my desktop. I can view the logs. I don't know what these logs are, so let me just open some kind of a text editor. All right. So Ollama models, something. Started Ollama server using PID, server log. Unable to connect to server, starting server, configuration, sometime, server log, private key, some key. I probably should not be streaming that key. Okay, I don't know. Okay, So, all right, how do I do anything now? Docs, not docs, blog, docs, readme, quick start. All right, download Windows, download Linux, Docker, whatever. Ollama run. Okay, so let me open a terminal. All right, so Ollama. All right, we have Ollama running on our system. Great. What does this mean? We have some kind of, okay, so create, serve, showing from Ollama show. Show what? Remove a model, copy a model, Ollama list. And there's no models. All right. Pull a model from a registry. So, okay, so can we, I see that there's a model library here. Can we download something? Okay, this 2 gigabytes, Ollama run. All right, so I don't know if you can see, but I'm downloading 2 gigabytes right now. Okay, so, okay, we have about 2 minutes of chatty. Okay, Open Cascade. Wow! I'm actually using Open Cascade for a project right now. It's super interesting. That could be it, but I feel like that's really advanced, actually. Web-based stuff, Open Cascade. I think something getting into events, but that's more of a, I feel like that's more of an add-on to the C# list. Chapter to the advanced playlist, exactly. Right, you're right. If we go through fractal growth and biomimicry, it will enhance our scientific basis in development, etc. Yeah, for the interface, OpenWebUI is pretty nice. Okay. Well, let's read some more documentation. Model library, customize a model. So we're gonna run the model. Where is DeepSeek? All right, models, DeepSeek R1. Whoa, okay. DeepSeek R1, 670 something billion parameters, distilled models. Okay. We can probably run a small, one of these smaller ones, the 1.5 or the 7 billion, I don't know. We'll see. Anyway. What else? Customize a model, import the GPUs, import the 6 sensors. Quick start, model library, customize a model, CLI reference, a model from a model file. Remove a model, copy a model, multi-line input. I'm a basic program that, I guess when you run it, then you start talking to it. Multimodal models, Ollama run, lava, what is in this image, blah, blah, blah. Pass the prompt as an argument. Okay, show model information. Ollama show, list models on your computer, which models are currently loaded. Stop a model that is currently running, start Ollama. Ollama services to want to start Ollama without running the desktop application. I don't know what that means. How is my image quality? I'm getting YouTube is telling me that the video rate is not great. I'm assuming it's probably because, oh wait, I guess it downloaded. All right, so I'm going to move this here to the right. I can move it here. All right, so let's see. Okay, Control D. All right, So now that I downloaded it, because I have it on my system, oh, I can talk to the model. Really? Send a message. Hello. Am I talking to an AI? Yes. Oh. All right. Cool. I like computational design. Have you heard from it? That's if it combines art and generative design, parametric design, topology, optimization, digital fabrication. All right. This is great. That was so easy. That was surprisingly easy. Okay. Well, since we are at it, I'm going to download some other model. So which one are we going to do? Let's do the 8 billion. Okay, so Ollama, I'm just going to do this in some kind of other window. Ollama pool, the DeepSeek one. Ollama pool, DeepSeek R1 8 billions. So, okay, it's going to take 10 minutes, but so we're going to mess with this guy in the meantime. Ooh, have you heard of Parametric Camp, the YouTube channel? I hear it's cool. It's known for sharing knowledge and design, genetic model, but Daniel P. Smith. Should I rename myself, folks? Today in this channel, my name is Daniel P. Smith. I guess P stands for parametric. I don't know, Daniel Parametric Smith, who is well known in the field of parametric design, computation, shares tutorials, design for. As you can significant following among design architects, I'm interested in exploring the possibility of parametric computation. The channel is also known for its relaxed conversational tone. That's kind of true, making it easy for viewers to learn and engage with the content. Have you been watching Parametric Camp and learning from Daniel's tutorials? What's your current experience with parametrics? That was really funny. Wait. Okay, yeah. Okay, I'm messing with it now. Clear the screen. You've cleared the screen. Ah, okay. All right, whatever. Ollama round 3.2. Okay. Daniel P. Smith here with you tonight. Shockingly straightforward. Great top channel. I know, right? I'm really good at this thing. Oh, now the stream is very blurry. Did I lose? Okay, are we still there? Oh boy, this is pretty bad. Oh boy. Okay. Mm-hmm. Uh, Ollama serve, serve, running local builds, REST API. Okay, this is not great. Mm-hmm. Okay, this kind of sucks, but I kind of want to download the model. So I'm just gonna, oh boy. Mm. Oh boy, this is bad. This is frustrating. Oh boy, what a disaster. Woohoo! All right. Oh, really? Rami, is that you? Are you back? Are you alive? I haven't seen you in forever. So can you see my video right now? I just finished downloading. Uh, oh, okay. All right. Oh, okay. So on my screen, it was completely buffering all the time. But I think we are good now. Okay. All right, beautiful. I think we are good. Maybe. I don't know. Can you all... I need some confirmation. Can you see my video running? Everything is okay? Can you give me a heads up? All right. Okay, fantastic. Okay, we had a bit of an internet situation there because I downloaded 5 gigabytes of this DeepSeek R1 model. Um, and I guess my bandwidth couldn't take streaming and downloading these heavy models at the same time. Anyway, so let's get back to business. So run llama 3 point. Okay, so I'm going to get out of this one. Okay, Ollama list. I have what? DeepSeek and llama 3.2. All right. And then what else could we do? Ollama help serve show All right. Ollama show deep. Okay. Ollama list, and then Ollama show what deep seek R1 8B architecture llama 8 billion parameters context embedding parameters stop user assistant license la la la. Okay, what about same for llama 3.2 latest? Llama 3.2 context length, same embedding length, quantization, community license agreement, blah blah blah. Okay, that's cool. Let's see what other things we can do. List. Okay, so let's see. So here we downloaded the model. Here we are going to serve it. Ollama run DeepSeek R1. Sorry, let me get the name again. All right. Ollama run DeepSeek 8-bit. All right, and now it's running on my computer. By the way, I wonder what's going on with the processes. I'm looking at my processes right now. Ah, I know what's going on. I had a process that was consuming a lot of bandwidth. We are definitely going to go to API calls because that's the interesting part. So we're trying DeepSeek R1. Hi, I hear you can reason. Can you give me an example? Think. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out how to solve this equation. 3 times plus 2 equals 7. Wait, that's a lot. Wait, let me make sure I'm not confusing anything here in this case, since I think it might be overcomplicated. I think we're gonna go, jeez, that's a lot. What just happened here? Woo! Okay, that was a lot. I don't know what just happened there. So we're running DeepSeek R1 with 8 billion parameters. So for those of you, so when you download a model, okay, so for example, DeepSeek, you typically can choose different versions of the model. Depending on how many parameters the model has, how many weights it has, kind of, then the model is heavier, memory-wise, or less. It also requires more compute power to make inference. Inference is a fancy word for making predictions. And the better, the more parameters, typically the better predictions you get, but also it's more expensive, it takes more energy, etc., etc. Why am I not? Okay. So, what is going on here? Wow, sorry. I'm having issues with YouTube today, so let me refresh my window here to get the stream back. Okay, exactly, yes. So DeepSeek is a model that is known for reasoning. Reasoning means that it basically does this kind of like talking to itself and structuring its thought and solving problems one at a time. So that's why I ask, can you give me an example of your reasoning? And then it just basically dumped this long stream of consciousness. To solve the equation 3 times x plus 2 equals 7. So what would be the answer to that? The answer to that would be 7 minus 2 is 5 divided by 3. So 5/3. I remember that in algebra, when you're going to solve by this equation, let me write that down. That, simplify that, and then 7 minus 2 is 5. So the equation is this, and then this, simplifying, that's a fraction, so it equals 5. Wait, let me check I did everything correctly. Maybe I should plug the value back into and cancel out. You see how it's basically talking to itself and reinforcing what it's talking about? That is one of the techniques that are being used today for what's referred to as reasoning in AI models. This inference method equation you need to undo. So first away, I will distribute first. Let me wait, not confusing anything. I think I might have overcomplicated it at first, but breaking it down you may have. Another thing, fractions. Specify a fraction for an exact value. Let me visualize this with some real scenarios, blah, blah, blah. And then here, this is basically writing what we just saw, but in LaTeX. So this is LaTeX equations. So if you were to render this, can I pull up here like a LaTeX equation renderer? I actually have. So this, if we just pull this here, for example, this is probably, yes, render. And then you see that we get this, you know? I don't know what happened here, but anyway. So yes, so DeepSeek. Okay, so that was a lot. I'm gonna try something else. Can you give me some JS code to find the factorial of a value? All right, I think blah, 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 factorial, you can approach sig for integers, definition, JavaScript code. Factorial of 5 is 120. Is that true? 5 times 4 times 3 times 2, 120. It is. Okay. This code efficiently handles edge cases and provides factorial for valid inputs. And you notice that it's writing in Markdown. So for example, the code is wrapped up in triple backticks. And yeah, so this would be very easy to render with a Markdown editor. So for example, we can do that actually. For example, here, we can do that in Visual Studio Code. I'm going to open a new window. I'm going to paste all of this. It already picked up by Markdown, and then Markdown Open Preview. You can see that it gets properly rendered. Here, you got bold. Here, you got code-like. Here, this is wrapped up as highlighted code, and then etc, etc. And if we had LaTeX, can we actually take up, I don't know if this would be properly, because LaTeX is a bit more tricky. So what if I do this? Yeah, it doesn't get rendered right away. I don't have a good LaTeX preview. Some content has been disabled. Yes. Yeah, so I need some kind of renderer that I don't have. Anyway, that's cool. And that was surprisingly easy and straightforward, and it's running in my machine, no problem. So I hear that these models are the cheaper ones, and by cheaper I mean the lower quality, thinner distilled models are not very powerful, but maybe I can try to download this offline at some point and run it in my machine. I don't know how much it would take, but yes, I could probably try that. 500 gigabytes. Do I have? Yeah, probably I have memory somewhere to store this. Okay, beautiful. So what else? Okay, let's get into the fancy stuff. So I guess we can serve. Do I have Ollama? What else? Serve, create a model from a model file. Show information for a model. Ollama list. Ollama. Is any model running? Stop, pull, push, list models, list running models. Ollama PS. Name DeepSeek. I have processor GPU, which is interesting because, all right, let me Tell me some long, I'm gonna make sure. I want to measure how much compute this is consuming. Tell me some long rant about something. And the terminal is burning some GPUs, but not a lot. It's mostly OBS. What are the resources required? Setup, install. Is this what's consuming resources? So I'm gonna stop. Okay. Ollama. I did stop the client, so it's not here anymore. So I'm going to run DeepSeek again. It's running. It's loading. Tell me some long rant about something. The terminal is now burning and is using some GPU, but not a lot. Okay. All right. So, interesting. Very good question, Victor. Does Ollama support uploading documents? Well, I've read that you can run commands. So for example, you can pass the prompt as an argument like this. So for example, let's say that I write here on my desktop and I'm going to add a new document that is called prompt, if I type it correctly. And then inside of prompt, we are going to inside of prompt, we're going to write here, can you explain to me what the cross product of two vectors mean? All right, so I'm going to save that. And then my understanding is that I can query the model by saying Ollama run DeepSeek R1 8 billion or something, and then this is my question, and then cat prompt.txt, and you close this, and just to make sure, you can see that what I'm basically doing is I'm inserting a shell command, which is basically going to read prompt and copy it into these square brackets here. That's the assumption. Okay, so I need to figure out what the cross product is. Yep. So it read the question about the cross products. So yes, so if you have a local file, I guess you can read that local file and insert it in the prompt, right? Yep, so it's doing the whole cross product, etc., etc. Okay, another thought. Okay, DeepSeek is very chatty. Let me tell you, this is a very chatty model. Where is my... Yeah, the terminal. I mean, the memory consumption is not terrible. Okay, beautiful. I suppose it only takes a lot of resources when consuming data. Yeah, but inference also takes. Test PDFs, it's very interesting. You can see images, if you can see images. So I read here multimodal models. So there's Lava. And what is Lava? So in models, Lava is a novel and multimodal. Okay, multimodal. Lava is a novel end-to-end multimodal language train, combines vision encoder. I would install it, but I feel like if I do, I'm going to lose you again. So I may not do it right now. I may do it offline and just download a bunch of models and have them running at some point for the future. But let's not do it now, right? Or shall we do it? Ollama run models. Okay, if I get laggy or choppy or whatever, I will probably just stop it. But if not, let me just do this in the background, see if it works. Because I stopped this other process that was consuming a lot of bandwidth. You see the terminal going nuts network-wise, right? So yeah, choppy for me. I know, I know. All right, what other things can we do? The API, that's the most interesting part, for sure. So, Ollama, okay, fine. All right, I stopped it. It was getting really bad. But yes, theoretically, you can just do this very easily. Ollama, PS, I'm running DeepSeek right now. So API. So the API generate. We're gonna model Llama 3.2. Okay. So I'm just gonna go. Yeah, I guess it doesn't. Model Llama prompt. Let's see if this works. Positional parameter cannot be found. It accepts argument model. Do I have curled in? Yes, it does. Well, we can try it with, where do I have some example? I don't mind just letting you know. I have some example of some app. Didn't we do something on here? Fun with AI, Node.js, DALI generate, Grasshopper, C#, Node.js, Python, Web DALI, WebGPT. Nah. I do have, maybe I have a sample file from class. All right, so let me look up, see if I have some kind of Node HTTP client, HTML. Oh boy, okay. I thought I had a generic app for testing APIs. Where do I have that? I know that I have that somewhere. I have that somewhere. GitHub. What are my repos? Repos. This one. Okay. Open it. Yeah. Okay. So where do I have that? Okay. So what does this mean? It means, oh, maybe it's because I'm not running that model. Okay. So here, this is the post. This is the content, accept encoding, no API, real. And then here, model, Llama 3.2. Okay, can I request? Window fetches an invalid header name. What just happened here? An invalid string or literal was specified. Really? Okay, so I may need to run this as a server. So let me get that going. So I'm trying things out, but the moment I actually record the video, so I'm gonna go live here. Okay, now, and then localhost, okay, so it's gonna be a post request, no API here, and then I'm just gonna request this and see if it works. UTA not found. Okay, so it is working. We are pinging something. So, model llama 3. Why is the sky blue? Request started. Oh, llama created at blah blah blah. Response, I guess I don't have the true recent context. Okay, that was a lot. Let's try again. DeepSeek R1 8B prompt. Why is the sky blue? Request started. Model. Wow. It's not really working for some reason. Do I need something different? Accept encoding. Nope, not really. All right, so let's try the low. So let's try with a Node.js request. So I'm gonna open here Node.js. Model. I'm going to write here DeepSeek R1 8B. And what is the API again? Prompt. So I'm going to write here. I'm basically, for those of you trying to follow this, I'm basically trying to use the model as a service right on my computer. And these models typically these models typically allow, I can't talk and write at the same time. What is happening here is that the model that is running in my computer is starting a small server and that is running an API. And that API is basically allowing me to do GET requests, POST requests, and I don't need this. And then, so if I open a terminal here, new terminal. Here, cd node completion request, unexpected non-white character after JSON at position. I guess we got a response, we just didn't. Oh boy. Okay, so this is not working. I don't know why. Here this is a stream to force, so the response is, oh, there's a stream. Ooh, okay. Stream. False. Is that so? The capital. Oh, we did. Good job, Victor. Thank you. Yeah, thinking. We got the response. Created a blah 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 response. But wait, addition, I don't remember the capital of Paris is France. Context, some duration, evaluation, blah blah blah. Okay. Beautiful. So that means that this thing that I was trying to run probably runs. It just needs a stream to be set to false. Good job, Victor. You saved the day. That's probably what happens when you read the manual, which I did not. Exactly. The phenomenon of a blue sky occurs where blah blah blah. Okay. Can you explain to me what an eigenvector is? Boom. And then, oh, it's thinking. Because eigenvectors are not very straightforward. All right, so we can ping the API, so that's fantastic. I have the term in linear algebra, blah, blah, blah. Very good. Okay, a bunch of things here. Simplifying matrix operations. Okay, so that's looking good. So what that means is that we can use these servers that are running as we can use this as services. So we could write a small server and just talk to the model from some kind of other application. So chat with the model. I guess, where is the API documentation? Generate a completion, post API generate, model, prompt, suffix, the text after the model, images, optional use of such as lava, format, stream. It follows the response as a single response of a stream of objects. Okay. Structure outputs. Oh, you can schema in the format parameter. Okay. I didn't know it has structure. That's great. JSON mode. Generate a request for streaming. The stream of JSON objects is returned. The final response includes the generation. No streaming, stream false. Thank you, Victor. Then response will be the one single object with suffix, structure outputs, response. Beautiful. Request with images, row, mode, response, load a model, unload a model, keep alive 0, response, generate chat completion. Yeah, so can you have multiple models running at the same time? So what if I run, where is my API? Here, DeepSeek. What was the other model that I had? Ollama list. Llama 3.2 latest. What if I do this? Do I get a response? Yeah, it gets a response. And Ollama PS. So now both are running. Interesting. So by calling that model, the model was woken up, which is pretty interesting. Very interesting. Okay, I like this. All right, what else can we try? Chat with the model. Okay, open web UI. Yeah, so how do we, is there a way to create some kind of interface of both Ollama, OpenAI API? What is, expose the kernel, whatever, get open web UI. Okay, I'm here again. So what is this? It's an extensible, feature-rich, and user-friendly self-hosted AI platform designed to operate entirely offline. Supports various LLM runners like Ollama and OpenAI compatible API, powerful the AI deployment tool. Key features. Also check out how to install via Python. This will start the opener. Okay. All right, shall we try this? Okay. All right. What do I have regular Python here? Python. Okay. All right. So, okay. So let's just do it. Python pip install. Where are we? Pip install web UI. Geez, I guess it's not happening. It requires a better. So, conda list. No. Conda environment list. So I have, what do I have? Postnet, Ultralytics. Yeah. Conda environment. I don't know. Should I create a new environment for this? Or do I even care? Why is Python everywhere in my life? What have I done to deserve this? Conda environment. Yeah, I can just create a new environment. Clean. Okay, let me just use the navigator. It's just easier. I don't have Docker in my system right now. I just don't want to do it, you know? If most of it can be ran at the same time, can the most talk to each other over API? Would it create an endless loop? It would definitely create a massive mess. Yeah. All right, environments. Can I create an environment? I'm going to create, what is it going to be? Web UI. Python. Wait, this is a, that's as high as I get? I can't. Really? Well, that sucks. Do I have Docker in my system? I don't think I have Docker. Anyway. Um, okay, web UI. Can I update this? How do... Cancel? No. How do I... Python 3.13, yes. And now I'm going to download a lot of stuff and maybe I'm going to lose you. Am I going to lose you? Okay. So Conda environment list. We have web UI. Yes. So let me finish updating this. And I wonder if I can search packages. Web UI. No. So, okay. Conda environment web UI. Hi. Conda help. Conda. It was Conda activate, right? Activate web UI. All right. So Python version 3.3. All right. Conda install web UI. Is that the... No. No, stop. Open web UI. I can't stop right now. Boring. Let me close some windows here. Open web UI. I'm always so frustrated with that. I can't. Anyway, how's everyone doing? Browser use. What is browser use? Take a look at browser use. What is browser use? I like having, like a teleprompter. Agent for LLM. I'm not sure that I understand what you're talking about. Is this a feature from Ollama or? All right. Conda install open web UI. Let's see if we can install it from. It's separate. Can you share a link, Victor? I guess this is what you're talking about. Make websites accessible for AI agents. Browser is easy way to connect your agents with the browser. Okay, so I get now pip install open web UI. Cannot find a version of certified environment. No matching distributions. What? Okay. What is going on? Cannot find a version that satisfies the requirement. Open web UI from versions none. Okay, why can I not install this? Ensure you're using Python 3.11. Of course. How to revert to a lower Python version. Conda install Python 3.11. Yes. See what others are building. Share first. Please start. Install Playwright. Spin up your agent. .m. Go to register your browser. Click on the first post and return the first comment. Okay, this is cool. Ah, okay, I kind of want to record videos today to post them, so let's not lose perspective here. I guess browser use is going to be something for the future, not today. Open Web UI. Ah, I hate my Python life. Seriously. Jeez. Okay. Why? 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 Quick start with Docker. Installation methods. Python would be so much better if it didn't exist. And it didn't cause these headaches to the likes of me. Anyway, in Anaconda, the manager is also useless. I can't do anything. Mark for specific version installation. Okay, here. Now, stop this thing. Apply. Jeez. Ay. What is going on? Why is everything so slow and so painful today? Anyway, I'm gonna keep playing with this. So, Ollama list, Ollama, localhost model. What about Ollama from Grasshopper? Should we try that? Okay. So, yes, we probably want to do that. So, where did we have? In parametric cam, we had get and post request. Is that correct? And found with AI, Grasshopper, DALI API. And we basically had DALI request. What was this? It was basically just. It was a post request. Yeah. So can we reuse one of these? Don't I have a general brain plugin Grasshopper? Yes, we did. Testing workbench. Inactive. So I guess this was the plugin itself, but we didn't have any C#. So So we could write something real quick. URL bearer token. So let's see. We got this. I'm going to this is going to be what? It's going to be this generate URL. We don't need any key for this. We're going to switch to a new C# script component, and we're just going to copy and paste this. This is going to be URL, and this is going to be a string. This is going to be the body, which is also going to be a string. I feel like I've done this like 7 million times. Post request, HTTP post, and we're going to write here, and this is going to be the response. And here in the code, we're going to write this, yes, and all right. If bearer token is greater than 0, then the request is going to have default credentials. Okay, encoding. Oh, we probably need additional libraries here. Yes, we need these libraries here. Okay. If URL is null. Okay. Application JSON stream write. Okay. Maybe this works. And we are going to now compose a, so the model, so let's say that we write here, can you explain to me what the cross product of two vectors is? And I'm going to here, and then I'm going to make two small models. One is going to be Ollama list. It's going to be, one of them is going to be DeepSeek R18B. The other one is going to be, oh, this is gonna go. The other one is going to be Llama 3.2 latest. Add to group, and then here. It's going to be model, and the model is going to be this guy, and this guy. Oh, did it work? It did work, I think. Response. Oh, a stream, false, yes. Boolean toggle. Let me freeze the solver. Yeah, stream, and this is false. So this is the request as it stands. Okay. So this is the request. Remove from group. Okay. And then, so this should be the response. And then some JSON to deserialize. Okay. And then, yeah. All right. So now enable the solver. Woohoo! Beautiful. What is this? Value has either too large or too small for an int 32. I don't know what that means. Oh, I guess it's yes. The evaluation duration. And then the response here. All right. Nice. And I guess now, if I use DeepSeek, I'm gonna get something else. DeepSeek is taking its time to think. And it should be done asynchronously. All right, apply. Test stream true and use data recorder. Be interesting to see the text output. Maybe. One minute. Oh, and it gave me a very lengthy whoa answer. All right, interesting. Okay, this is pretty cool. So where can we save this? We're going to save this parametric camp, GitHub, Fun with AI, Grasshopper, Ollama. Ollama API. Okay, disconnect. Disconnect here. All right, so I think we can now. I want to try WebG because it would be a nice video to just do. We download, we install, we download a model, we show how to use the model as an interactive chat. We show how to use the model as a query from the command line. So, and also reading the file from the prompt, maybe, like we did before. And then we show how to use the API first from Node, from a terminal, last, then from the web API here, then maybe using web UI, and last using Grasshopper. I think that's a pretty neat video for us, no? That sounds like a pretty neat video for us. So that's going to be the video if I ever manage to get stupid web UI to work. All right. Can I stop models? So we were here, Ollama PS, Ollama stop all. No. Stop DeepSeek R1 A to B. Ollama stop Llama 3.2. latest. Ollama PS. Okay, nothing. Ollama list. All right. Okay, sounds good. And good to see you, Nicholas. Okay, web UI. I am so bored of this. Stupid Anaconda. Stupid everything. Okay. So I'm going to move this to the other window. Completion request. And then Llama 3.2 latest. And then response. JSON.response. Okay. You need to specify the version latest. I assume if there's only one, I know which one. I know which one to use. Well, I guess latest is just a placeholder for whatever the latest version is. I don't know that we get the chance to specify that. 3.11. Okay. So, conda activate web UI. Okay, Python version 3.11. All right. Pip install open web UI. Conda install open web UI. I'm very close to giving up on this. Open web UI. Conda activate web UI. And then freaking pip install. Do I have to update to a newer patch version of this guy? Three point 11.11. Ah. Oh, you're talking about Python, the Python version, not the model, the Llama model latest. Is that what you mean? Python 11. Okay, 11.11. Python version 11.11. Okay, I give up. I don't know how to do this. I'm sorry. Maybe if I go to base, gonna activate base, pip install Python 3.11.11. You're gonna find versions of the rare versions. Did I not? 11.11, yeah. Well, I'm frustrated, folks. I'm sorry. I've tried. I've really tried. I promise. Yes, conda activate web UI. Pip install. Open UI. Nope. Conda install open web UI. And this is gonna just run forever, right? Yeah. I don't know what's going on. And I don't know why. Not found. Yep. Open web UI install cannot find the specified system file. No idea. Okay, well, I'm sorry, but I guess better way would be to just run it from Docker. But I'm not gonna do that right now. Am I not? Do I have Docker? I guess I do have Docker. Gonna activate base. Okay. Quick start with Docker. Not a percent on Docker. When you Docker to server, make sure to include that your database is properly mounted and prevents any loss of data. You use it with Ollama included or CUDA acceleration using our artificial images tag with either. If Ollama is on your computer, okay, shall we try? The Docker client must be run with elevated privileges to connect. Okay, Docker desktop. Okay. I'm trying real hard here, folks. Like very seriously. Wow, that's a lot of old stuff. Okay. All right, let's try again. Really find. Am I going to lose you? I am going to lose you. 3 gigabytes of a download. Oh man, this is not gonna be nice. Manual installation. Okay. Victor just shared this. The two mains using the UV runtime manager or Python's pip. Installation with UV. Then with pip. It's strongly recommended for using installing open web with Python's backend. It is strongly recommended you use Python runtime managers like UV or Conda. These tools help manage Python environments and avoid conflict. Python 3.11 is the development environment. Seems to work but has not been tested. It's entirely untested. Use at your own risk. Yeah, well, this is what I've tried, basically. There's nothing really new here. Am I going to lose all morning trying to install web UI and I'm not going to get to recording the video? Is that what's going to happen? Should I just call it a day? Or should I just leave this running in the background and start the video? Let's start the video for the time being. Okay. So I'm going to move all of this here, all of this here, all of this here. And I'm going to start with the demo. Okay. That's going to be the intro. The intro is going to be base CLS Ollama PS Ollama run Llama 3.2 latest. Okay. All right. Hi, I am the host of a YouTube channel called damn it. Okay. Hi, I'm gonna write it here. This is gonna be hi. I am the host of a YouTube channel called Parametric Camp. Can you please greet our audience? Okay. All right. I mean, the internet seems fine, kind of, right now. So, okay. So if I do that and I paste this, whoop. Okay. So that's going to be a good beginning. Okay, so that's going to be the beginning of our video. Okay. All right, so let's start the video. We said the video is going to be an intro, what are we doing? And what are we doing? And the first thing is going to be install, downloading a model, running it like this, running it like this, and then moving on to APIs, web UIs, or whatever, right? But before here, we're going to do this. Or maybe I actually... Okay, let's do this. We're in recording mode now. Hello, this is Jose Luis here at Parametric Camp, and welcome to another video where we're going to tinker with artificial intelligence, machine learning. And in this video, what I would like to teach you is a very simple, very quick way of downloading and installing a large language model on your computer and then talking and chatting and generating text with it. I'm going to give you a really quick demo. So what I'm going to do is I just open a terminal. I'm going to type Ollama run a llama model, and then I'm going to go into chat mode with the large language model that I'm running in my computer right now. And I'm going to type, hey, I'm the host of a YouTube channel called Parametric Camp. Would you like to greet our audience? And here's what I'm getting back in result. Hello, welcome to PCamp. I'll be happy to craft a greeting for your audience. Here are a few options. So first, hey everyone, welcome back to PCamp. I'm excited to have you here today. Or welcome to another episode of PCamp. We're passionate about sharing knowledge and inspiration with you. Or the third option, what's up creators? Welcome to PCamp and blah, blah, blah. So I want to emphasize what's interesting about this is that it's basically like ChatGPT is a chatbot, it's an LLM, but it's running completely in my computer. I would not need to be connected to the internet. It costs no money because I'm running it in my computer, and it's the one that I'm using right now is fairly lightweight. So this is a fantastic way and really simple and fast to have LLMs running on your computer, chatting with them, and different ways to perform this conversation. I'm going to show you different ways to perform the conversation that I just did directly from the terminal, from other applications using an API, from a web UI, so typing on a tiny browser text and getting responses back, and last but not least, from Grasshopper, which we like a lot in this channel. All right, so let's get hands-on and let me show you how easy it is to set this up on your very computer. Beautiful. So let's get this done. So actually, so yeah, all right, so let's do it. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to download and install this framework that is called Ollama. Where is it? I actually don't see it. Well, you go to the, you can see here, ollama.com. So you go there, and Ollama is basically a framework that makes very easy to download and to run large language models that are open source or open weights. You might be familiar with Llama, which is the LLM that Meta published and made available for free. This week, DeepSeek got a lot of attention in the media. It has several models, a reasoning model, a chatbot model, and then there's others like Mistral, Gemma, Quad, etc. that you can download. So it's actually super easy. So you're going to go to download and you're going to click on whatever your system is. I'm going to download it for Windows, and then I'm going to choose somewhere to download this. And the download for me was about 750 gigabytes. So then you're going to download, you to double click, you're going to press install, and then in 1 or 2 minutes, this is going to be done. Okay. So I can't really show you, I already have it installed right now. Okay. I can't really show you, but in your taskbar here next to the clock, which I have on my other screen, you're going to have like a tiny Ollama head that is basically going to signal that Ollama is running on your computer. And the best way to know if this is true is by opening up a terminal. So you're going to click on Control Search, so Windows key and search, or you're going to go to the search bar and type terminal. I'm going to right click on my desktop and I'm going to open here a terminal with PowerShell on my desktop. Okay, so once you open the terminal, the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to type Ollama to see if this is working on your end. All right, and awesome. So you have Ollama running on your system. The next thing that you need to do is when you download Ollama, Ollama is empty. Ollama doesn't have any model installed. So what you want to do is you want to go to the models and you want to figure out which is the model that you want to download. So The most popular ones at the recording of this video, this is January of 2025, is Llama, which is the large language model from Meta, right? And DeepSeek, which has got a lot of popularity this last week. When you click on one of these models, you can see that there are lots of different versions of the model. For example, DeepSeek, you have different versions with more or less parameters, 7 billion, 14 billion, 32 billion. In general, the more parameters you have, the better the performance of the model, but it's also slower, the download is bigger, and then the resources required on your machine are greater. So I am recording this from a desktop computer that has an RTX 3090, which is a fairly good GPU. So that's why I can run some of these models. Okay, so depending on which device you're using, if you have a laptop with a dedicated graphics card, you're good to go. If you have a laptop with no graphic card, I'm not sure if this will work for you. But anyway, let's start by downloading some kind of lightweight model. So I'm going to go to 1.5, and you see that this is going to be the command that you need to input in order to run this model locally. If it is the first time you run this model, what Ollama is going to do is going to download this model for you. So I'm going to type Ollama run DeepSeek version 1.5b. And as I do that, because it figures out that I don't have it, no connection could be made because the target machine actually refused it. All right, so then let's just do the following. Let's just change the command and say Ollama pool, and then the name of the model that we want to download. By doing that, you're basically going to download the model from the internet. As you can see right now, it takes about 1 minute because it's a fairly light model, but I'm going to stop this by doing Control C because I already have some models downloaded. So I'm going to type Ollama list, and you can see that I do have two models downloaded. I have a Llama 3.2 and I have a DeepSeek R1. This is 8 billion parameters, and this one I don't really know how many parameters it is. And now comes the really cool part. These models are already downloaded, so I spent that time, right? So now what I can do is I can enter chat mode with any of them. So what I can do is I can say Ollama run and then the name of the model, Llama 3.2 colon latest. As I do that, the model gets started in my computer, and now I'm entering chat mode. So now here is when I can say, what's the capital of France? And then it's Paris. What is parametric camp? And then it's in parametrics, an annual conference in London. It was created by Zaha Hadid. Well, as you can see, that's not true. The model is hallucinating, but it's also a model that doesn't have a lot of weight. So it's trying to do its best. Or for example, what is the meaning of the cross product of two vectors? All right. And then the two vectors is blah, blah, blah. It gives me some notation and it's talking. All right. It's basically like having ChatGPT on your machine. All right. I can press Control D. I can leave the window, and now I'm going to try to run a different model. So I'm going to run DeepSeek R1, which is a reasoning model. All right. And I think it's 8 billion parameters, the one that I had. All right. And yes, so now I'm going to copy and paste. What is the meaning of the cross product of two vectors? And because it's a reasoning model, it's going to give me a fairly reasoned through lengthy response. So you can see that it's generating text, it's giving me the determinant, the operation, what does it mean, blah, blah, blah. As I said, this is recorded in the end of January of 2025. This last week has been dominated by the publishing of this particular model, the DeepSeek R1 model. But if you're watching this from somewhere in the future, maybe you're like, oh, these poor people in 2025, these really prehistoric models that I had to deal with. We are very excited today about this. And you can see, still chatty and chatty and chatty. R1 is very chatty, if I have to say. Okay, fantastic. And now, Ollama, what was the, how did I call for, um, yeah, 3.2 latest, oh, and now I'm going to talk about loading the prompt. And this is not necessary. Okay. As I said before, we can check if you download several models, you can have all of them running in your machine at the same time. So for example, you can use the Ollama list command to list all the models that you've downloaded, and you can use Ollama PS to list the ones that are actively running and using resources on your machine right now. So whenever you call a model, your Ollama automatically wakes it up and keeps it running so that the next time that you use it is faster to run. Okay. Now I've shown you how you can use Ollama in this interactive chat mode, but it doesn't have to be like that. You can just from the command line run an inference just once and go back to your command line in a very easy way, like for doing this, for example. What you can do is you can say, Ollama, run the model that you're interested in running, and in double quotes, you can pass the prompt that you want to send to the model. So if I do this, I can say, yeah, whatever. My cutoff date was Joe Biden in 2000 and in 2023. All right. Now, if you are working with files of text, for example, you can pass those files of text directly as well. So for example, I have here in my system, I have on my desktop a file called prompt.txt. And in that file, I have, can you explain to me what the cross product of two vectors mean? All right. And actually it should be means, right? This is my not being an English speaker. So what I can do here is I can do Ollama run llama 3.2 latest. And then what I can do is, this is my question. And then before you close the double quotes, you can insert a command. So you can do open and close parentheses with a $sign and say cat, which is a shell command for reading and printing a file, and then prompt.txt. All right. By doing this, this will execute first. This will turn into the text of the file, and then the entire prompt will be this part highlighted here, which is the cross product of two vectors, blah, 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 as we did before. All right. If you're using a multimodal file, a multimodal model like Lava that takes images, this is also a technique that you can use to load and pass images to the model. All right. Okay, so now let's talk about the API. Ugh. All right. So we're gonna have the API OpenAI API. Uh, parametric camp OpenAI API. Fun with AI. Now, if you remember from previous videos in this channel, one of the interesting things that the companies who make these models provide to us is APIs, application programming interfaces, which are basically ways of letting us write code locally that ask for inferences to the servers that are running these large language models, and then get a response from those servers that then we can use into our applications, right? So if you remember, you can use ChatGPT from the window and the chatbot, but you can also use the API by doing what's called a post request to this endpoint here and making sure that you pass some kind of JSON file that has the right format as per the specifications of the API. If you don't remember any of this, we have in the playlist, we have a bunch of examples of how to use the DALI API from the terminal with Python, C#, whatever, or how we wrote a ChatGPT-like web app by using the API from OpenAI, all right? So super interestingly, what happens with those APIs is that we typically ask for service from the server of OpenAI or these other companies. When we use Ollama, what's really, really interesting is that Ollama automatically creates a small API in our computer that we can use to query and to get inference and to ask the model for predictions from any other applications, so that we don't need to use the command line and we don't need to type things. We can directly write software that that uses these services locally. All right. So for that, for example, I've written a really, really quick example here. This example is an example where in Node.js, I am querying, and this is super interesting actually. So here you can see that just by using and having Ollama installed on your system, there is already a port on your computer, 11,000 something that has an API with a generate endpoint. So if we just write a very thin application, this is written in JavaScript, that goes to the endpoint and sends a JSON object with what model are we trying to use from the ones that we have downloaded? What is the question that we're sending? And so that we don't have the whole back and forth of like typing, blah, 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 we just get the response in one big object. Then we set the parameter stream to false. Okay, then we just make a simple post request, we send that to the server, and then the moment we get the response, we just print that to the console. So what I'm going to do now here is I don't know if you can see, it's kind of small, but I'm going to type node and then completion, blah, blah, blah. And then the request was sent to the endpoint that is running locally on my computer. And I'm going to move this somewhere else so you can see it. So you can see that I have the response here, parametric camp, I couldn't find anything, I don't know what to do, etc., etc. Okay, so I will copy a version of this application in the Fun with AI section of our GitHub for parametric camp. Okay. A similar application is this one that we wrote here. So this is a web application that is running on my machine right now, and that connects to an endpoint, can send a post request with these headers and with this as the question. And this has to be written in JSON, okay? And then I'm going to request this. The request is sent to the Llama model that is living on my machine. And then I'm getting a response as a JSON file as well. This is kind of difficult to read, okay? But this is the way you would write applications locally. Let me see if I have now Web UI running. Web UI, CUDA, image created, size. Okay, so then how do I run it now? Open Web UI. Oh, okay. Let me log into this. Your full name. Who? Okay, it looks like I have it running. Arena model. Tell me a fun fact about the Roman Empire. Oh, this is very neat, actually. All right. Okay. Nice. Okay. Now, if you really, really are a fan of web-based UIs for LLM, etc., if you're not building apps, if you just want to talk and chat with your local Llama, your local DeepSeek or whatever, then the way you would do with ChatGPT, then what I would recommend is that you check this project called Open Web UI. Open Web UI, if you go to their GitHub, is basically a project that allows you to download and to run locally. Again, with no access to the internet, no cloud, all your data stays private. You download and you install a web UI that allows you to, that gives you an interface to talk to the large language models that you have installed locally using Ollama. So I have to say though, I went through a bit of a pickle to install this thing. I tried doing it the Python way. I had kind of problems doing it. I ended up using the Docker way, but it was a pretty heavy download, etc., etc. So I'm not going to get into this, but it's not so straightforward, at least it wasn't on my end to get it installed. But anyway, I finally managed to have it installed using Docker. So I have a Docker instance with GPU access. And then once you have that, the only thing you need to do is you go to localhost 3000, and then you are prompted with this ChatGPT looking interface to talk to the models. And interestingly, the web UI application already detected which models I have installed. It already connected to Ollama, so I didn't have to configure anything whatsoever. And then I can now just do the regular web UI chatty thing that you would do with ChatGPT. Like, for example, what is parametric camp? All right, tell me about it. And DeepSeek is going to take some time to think, also known as parameters space camp. I don't know that it's getting it correct, but yes, I mean, it's doing something. And then I can keep talking. Tell me much more. And it's kind of thinking. And yeah, it's perhaps a metaphorical thing. I don't know, it just tells me more and more. You can have like a normal conversation the way you would do with ChatGPT, which is kind of nice. And again, it took me a little bit of time to install. If you actually want to hear more about how I did it, I recorded this video in a live stream, so there will be a link to the full live stream if you want to see the hurdles that I went through, and also in general all the explorations that I did to record this video. Oh boy, okay. All right. Let me get rid of this, and then let me get rid of all of this. And let me move this somewhere here. And last but not least, and I know you're excited about Grasshopper things, so I wanted to show you an example of how to use LLM predictions that are coming from Ollama models into your Grasshopper definitions. So the only thing, remember again, because Ollama creates a REST API, which basically means that you can use HTTP post requests to ask a question to the model and get a response, both in JSON formats. The only thing that you need to do is you need to write a C# script, one that performs a post request to the endpoint that we specify. And the endpoint that we specify is that localhost endpoint that we have running on our machine right now. And then it's all a matter of composing a JSON object with the right parameters to get a response. So you can see that here I'm using the JSON plugin to create a JSON object that has a model key, a prompt key, and a stream key. The stream is set to false. The prompt is, can you explain the cross product? And then I have written here, hard-coded, the two models that I have available in my Ollama installation. So the moment I plug this into the HTTP post request, Grasshopper, this C# component, is doing a post request locally to my Ollama API. And then you can see that the result is this gigantic JSON file that has a lot of information, blah, blah, blah. But we can deserialize that JSON information and get all the keys for that object, the response being the one that we're interested in. Look, it's a cross product, it's a fundamental, blah, 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 whatever. And if I were to now switch to DeepSeek, this is going to take a while. Last time I tried it, it took about 1 minute or so. So I think I'm just going to leave this running as I wrap up this video. But what I wanted to say with this video is running large language models in your machine is actually super, super easy to do with this framework called Ollama. Remember, Ollama is great for installing and running large language models on your machine. You can install the framework and then you can download whichever models you are interested in of the ones that are open source. Depending on your machine, how powerful your graphics card is, how much memory do you have, you might be able to run more powerful or thinner models depending on your hardware specifications. But what's good about this is that you only rely the cost of running these models is only the cost of the energy of running the electricity for your computer, and all your data stays private. So you're not sharing any sensitive data with any of these companies that provide LLM services, because remember that most of that data will end up as training material for future models. Okay, so if you're worried about your privacy, or if you have a process where you have a huge data set and you need to run it by an LLM, so you need to do like thousands and thousands of requests to a large language model, you probably want to do it locally to save some dollars. Okay, you see that the request took 1.2 minutes, and then we got this like really lengthy response from DeepSeek about what cross product is of two vectors. Okay, fantastic, beautiful. So this was this quick, let's dip our toes into running LLMs locally. There's much more you can do. You can pass images to these models. You can download really heavyweights. You can build entire applications using local resources. So I hope that this just gave you a glimpse of how easy it was for me to do this with Ollama, and what are the possibilities that you have given the fact that you already have an API, so you can build applications that use large language model services and draw from them for whatever applications. Okay, thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, maybe do all the YouTube thingy, subscribe to the channel, like this video, tell your friends to join the fun, etc, etc. Thank you very much, and see you on future videos. Bye bye. Oh, and remember, the files that I just showed in this video are available in our Fun with AI GitHub, in our Fun with AI folder in our GitHub on Parametric Camp. There will be a link to those files in the description of this video. Thank you, and see you very soon. Bye bye. All right. Hey, Wanda, thanks for connecting. All right, so that was a video that so let me save this at ollama.api. I'm actually going to disconnect this because otherwise it's going to be a lot. All right. So I'm going to save this. Okay, I'm done with this. Prompt, I don't want this anymore. Ollama setup, I don't need it anymore. The web, chat. I'm going to stop. What is Docker? Where do I have Docker? Here. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to shut this down. Yeah, because I'm not gonna quit Docker. Okay. What can you actually do in Grasshopper running an LLM? That's a good question. Why would you need an LLM in Grasshopper? I don't know. Because you're doing some kind of text analysis? I'm not really sure. I have lots of things to learn about the review and parametric design playlist. Yes, of course. Okay, so that video is going to go here. Simple HTTP client. This I want to, okay. Wait. So this we're going to save as a file. Where is the fun with AI workshop? Where is the fun with? I'm going to come and get fun with AI. Node.js. here, Ollama API.js. Yep. Oh, why is my computer so slow right now? Boy. Okay. Ollama, here you go. You need this. You don't need this, probably. And then this is gonna go back to original. Why did we need process here? Oh, yeah. Okay. You want to save? No, no saving. You could ask LLM to generate file, then pass it through a component to run that code. Not sure about the security implications, but doable. Yeah. Or for example, let's say you are running some kind of Grasshopper definition that is working with images, and you need to know, is this an image of a cat or a dog? You can send that image to an LLM, and you can ask the LLM the question, is this a cat or not a cat? And just give me a true or a false answer, just that word, right? And then you can use that response, true or false, as a way to decide in your Grasshopper workflow what to do with that image, how to treat it, right? So it's good for answering questions that are unspecified, that you don't have a rule for. And very specifically, it's really, really useful if the response that you ask is something that then you can parse easily in Grasshopper. So for example, you ask for a true or a false, or you ask for a number, like, how sure do you think that this is a cat? From 0 to 10, just give me the number, right? And then, or how perfect of a circle this is. Is it a perfect circle? 10. Is it a really bad circle? 0. Is it like something that looks like a circle but is blobby? Then a 5. I don't know. Okay. All right, so that was that video. And since we're here, I'm just going to finish by doing the other video that I wanted to do, parametric camp GitHub. Yes, computer. All right, so I'm just gonna make this video about the work that we did the other day. Hello, this is Jose Luis here at Parametric Camp, and welcome to another video that was actually the result of many folks, many people in the community emailing me, asking on Discord, like, hey, Jose Luis, we want to get better at computational design. The channel is great, but I feel like I have time and I want to study computational design a bit more formally, maybe go back to school, maybe join a research lab. Like, who in the world are doing these things and which programs could I look at if I wanted to learn more about what we're doing? So this is a question that I face all the time. And last week in the live stream, what we did was like, hey, why don't we just, together with the community, why don't we put together a list of all the programs and all the research labs that we think could be interesting for people who are in the field of computational design, and specifically more on the architecture, engineering, construction, or people who are interested in the built environment. That means that maybe programs that also focus a little bit on media studies might be included here, but definitely the emphasis is more on architecture, geometry, digital fabrication, and things that relate to making the built environment a better place through computational design. So what we did was we created this GitHub repository that basically has just one file. It's called README, and it's a file where we basically just dumped a collection of degrees, PhDs, and research labs. So I want to make two very clear disclosures. First, this is a work in progress. We are not claiming that all the programs and all the research labs are here. And actually, it's open for contributions by people. I will get to that. So if you think there's some program or some lab that is important and is interesting and that it should be on this list, you're more than welcome to contribute. And second, I want to make sure that you understand that in no way am I or the people who contributed to this list endorsing any program or any research lab. This is just a list for you to know what's out there in the world. But if you're interested in any of these, you should do your own research to make sure whether if it's a good program or it's a good research lab, and if it fits your goals and what you want to get out of this experience in your life. Okay, so examples of this is we have a section on master degrees, like for example the Master in Design Studies mediums, which is one where I personally teach a lot, and I have most of my students come from this place. A similar program at MIT, programs at Carnegie Mellon, the ETH, the Bartlett in London, etc., etc. All of them with links and with brief annotations if any of us know something more factual. This is not opinions, it tries to be factual about these programs in particular. Or for example, the ITP program at NYU where Daniel Schiffman teaches himself. Then there are some doctoral degrees that we have added here, like the Doctor of Design program. This is the one that I did here at the Harvard Graduate School of Design, and that I'm also involved in some mentoring and some advising, right? And some research labs, because some people can actually, some of these labs actually have researcher positions for people who are mid-career or who have a master's degree or who want to get a master's degree by attending and working with these labs. So many of these are experiences that are very close to academia, where you can actually learn and you can also get a degree. And some of them are just more research positions, you just work doing things that are in the field of computational design. This list perhaps is the shortest one. There's definitely many more research labs than the one that we collected here, but this is for you to just get a sense of where could you go. The one that I work with very closely, for example, is the Material Processes and Systems group here at the GSD at Harvard, right? And as of January of 2025, which is when I'm recording this video, okay? So if this is a non-complete, non-endorsed, just a list for you to check and to see if any of these programs are what you're looking for. But if you also have opinions about other programs, other research labs, and other degrees that should be here for whatever reason, you're more than welcome to contribute to this list by going to pull requests and opening a pull request. What this would mean is that you're going to clone this repository to your account, you're going to make whatever modifications, and then you're going to send a pull request back with those edits, and that will get approved by either me or some of the parametric campers that have volunteered to moderate this list. All right. So if you want to know more, the link to this GitHub repository is in the description of this video. So go ahead, check it out. If you have any questions, you're more than welcome to join our Discord server and ask. There's many people in our community that have gone through several of these programs, so they might be able to give you some more insight on that. The Bonfire channel might be the best place to ask those questions. And if you have suggestions, as I said, you may want to submit a pull request if you want to add any more to the list. All right. Well, that's going to be it. I am very happy with the work that we did, and and perhaps thanks to this, we get to work together in some of these degrees of some of these events. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, we should also add conferences. That is a big miss that we didn't add. So maybe we will do this, and maybe if you see this list in the future, it will also have a section for conferences. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this video. I hope this is useful for you. And if you liked it, then maybe join our Discord server, like this video, share this video with people who might be looking to pursue degrees or to further their computational design career, whatever that looks like for you. Okay, thank you very much and see you on the next video. Bye bye. Okay, wow, that was a lot. That was almost 3 hours of live streaming. Not bad for having lost my edge last year, huh? All right. Okay, I have a lot to do this afternoon, so I'm gonna have to go. One, I'm trying to do a script able to fit compositions of 3D printed environments. Maybe DeepSeek could be a good co-pilot. Integrated Grasshopper. I don't know. These models are not typically very good at understanding and or processing geometry. I haven't had a lot of success with that unless you really, really dumb it down to very, very simple 2D stuff. Okay, but yeah, you're welcome to try. Why not? As usual, now that it's free and you can deploy it locally, just why not? You know, beautiful. With that, I think I feel very complete for today. Thank you very much for being here. It is awesome to be back online and to be doing this. This that we did today was actually super fun and surprisingly easy. I don't know why everyone is not running these models already locally in their machines. Anyway, thank you very much and see you next week. What are we doing next week? What are we doing next week? I don't know. I don't know. We'll see what we do next week. Okay. Oh, wave function collapse. That was in the back burner. Maybe we give it a try next weekend. Next week. Thank you very much. See you. Bye bye.